Welcome again to Dairy Judging 101. I am Dr. Catherine Knowlton, a professor in the Department of Dairy Science at Virginia Tech. Probably my favorite part of my job is teaching dairy judging and coaching my dairy judging teams. As a coach, I put a lot of effort into preparing my students for competition, and I've realized that there is one group whose thoughts and ideas really matter, a group whose insight could really help my students. That is, the people who officiate the contest and listen to your reasons. So who are these people? The next time you're in a contest, look around. You're going to see a group of people who don't look quite as nervous, maybe don't look quite as young as you are. And usually that group of people, they're kind of huddled together back in the corner. They're looking at the cows and they're talking to each other and they're really pretty intense. Those are the officials. They are people whose ability to judge cows is respected. They are people whose passion for dairy judging leads them to volunteer to help out at these contests. They're people who are going to be evaluating your reasons. So I decided to reach out and start asking them, what is it that they want to hear from you? I assume as you're watching this video that you have already watched some of the others on the basics of giving reasons. And if you have, you know that really there are two elements that you're being evaluated on. And the first is content. They want content that is accurate, complete, and organized. The second is delivery. They want to hear a delivery that is convincing, enthusiastic, good terminology, good grammar, clear enunciation, and a certain degree of style. These are things we know. These are things that your coaches are going to tell you. My goal with this project is to go beyond these basics and ask the people who are giving you the scores, what are they listening for? What do they think you should pay more attention to? What do they think you worry too much about? And, as officials, what are their pet peeves? I think you'll be interested in their responses. There are several people who were willing to help with this project. In this video, I'm going to give you the feedback from 3 individuals. They are Aaron Horst, Mary Creek, and Molly Sloan. I'll have them introduce themselves to you now.
Hi, my name's Aaron Horst. I was a member of the 2006 and 2007 dairy judging teams at Virginia Tech. I work as a Jersey sire analyst at ABS Global, and when I'm not doing that, I enjoy helping at contests as an official and judging cow shows when I get the opportunity.
Hello, I'm Mary Creek. I've coached for over 30 years and took reasons at state, regional, and national contests for more than 20 years and have judged shows all around the world and many in the U.S.
This is Molly Sloan from Columbus, Wisconsin. I work as the Global Training Program Manager for Alta Genetics and have competed in numerous 4-H and collegiate judging contests myself. I continue to judge professionally at national shows around the world.
Let's see what these 3 have to say.
The most important thing in a reason set is accuracy. It's tempting to get caught up finding unique and catchy ways to say things, but that just isn't always necessary. An accurate set with basic comparative words is far more likely to receive a higher score than an inaccurate set with fancy words.
Turns out accuracy is something that all 3 of these really emphasize.
Do not make a statement or comparison that is not true. Accurate detail wins contests. Make sure all of your points are true. The biggest deductions from your score will be for not being accurate. It is very easy to blend traits and phrases, and this can lead to problems. For example, if you say one has a more correct set of feet and legs than 2, feet and legs get connected frequently, but in some situations they need to be separated, especially if one is only more correct in legs set from the side and 2 happens to be more correct in her foot shape and have a deeper heel. Using the combined term of feet and legs just lost you points for being inaccurate.
All too often, I find people deliver what I call canned reasons by packaging terms together. For example, someone may say, 1 places over 2 because she is higher and wider in the rear udder. However, she may be higher, but not wider. Therefore, be careful not to combine terms that you typically use together because they may not always be accurate.
If you want to keep points in your score and gain a higher score. Get more detail in all of your reasons. If you say one has more correct feet and legs than two, that's simple enough and certainly true. But if you had added that one has more correct set to her legs when viewed from the side, in addition, has a cleaner, flatter bone, especially at the hock, and stands on a more correctly shaped foot with shorter toes and more depth of heel, you're going to get far more points. Accurate, thorough detail wins contests. Detail paints the picture of the story you are trying to tell.
But all of the officials agree that you got to get the basics down first. Too much detail, or more precisely, too much of an emphasis on flowery, fancy terms isn't as helpful as you think it is.
The thing I think people worry too much about is memorizing too many details or using too many fancy terms. And regardless of where you're at in your judging career, the priority is always going to be clearly describing the main points that decided your placings. And after you get that done, you can fill in the gaps with the finer details or the cooler terms to try to get a higher score. But you've always got to make the main points clear.
The other thing that kids seem to worry too much about is being fancy. If using flowery phrases comes easy to you, then go ahead and use them. However, it is not necessary to use unique, complicated phrases to get your points across. Most times, simply put reasons are the most effective.
So this really seemed to be a consistent theme. Don't focus so much on new, cool terms, but instead, just tell us what you're seeing.
I think it gets back to why we're all doing this. It's because we enjoy cows. And whether you're at the farm or talking with your friends about your cows or other people's, it's all a very similar language, whether you're being informal at a barn or you're in a contest setting. So even though you're going to be more buttoned up and professional at a contest, it's not that different at the end of the day. You're talking cows, whether you're at a farm or at a contest.
Use proper grammar. I know I am old school on this, but it makes a difference in presentation. Do not make up phrases just to try to be different. It is distracting to the official who can lose attention trying to figure out what you are talking about if it is too unique. Simple, accurate, and to the point is all you need.
What are my pet peeves? The first is asking to start your reasons over. And this gets back to preparing well and being very focused when you start to give your reasons. If you do trip up, I would just say keep going. I think it's less distracting than starting over. The second is not being organized enough in your reasons. And this is, again, getting back to preparation. As many sets of reasons as an official listens to during a contest, you've got to be very clear. And if they struggle to follow which cow you're talking about, and if you're on a grant or a reason, it's really tough to give a good score for a set that they struggle to follow. The last pet peeve I have is not having the appropriate voice volume or standing at too far, too close to me when you're giving your reasons. A very easy thing to fix if you practice, and hopefully your coaches can do that. But the main point of that is I want to be focused on the content of what you prepared for me to hear and not be distracted by how loud or how soft you're talking.
Staying on the theme of delivery, Molly Sloan's got some good advice for you.
Your verbal communication should be conversational, yet authoritative. There's no need to shout if you can articulate and project your voice. The best reasons givers are mindful of varying their pitch throughout a set. For example, watch the difference in these two comments. Here's the first one. She has a decided advantage in udder with so much more width and capacity to her rear udder. Now, watch the second one. She has a decided advantage in udder with so much more width and capacity to her rear udder. Take advantage of emphasis words and really make a point to pronounce them in such a way that makes your reasons interesting.
What do kids worry too much about when giving reasons? Being perfect is the answer. You need to try to be relaxed and not worry if you stumble or get a little tongue-tied or mispronounce something. Simply say, "Excuse me," and correct yourself and move on. Your presentation does not have to be perfectly flawless.
And so then I asked each of them if they had some final words for you.
With practice, you can develop the content and communication skills to deliver great reasons.
Too many kids get intimidated by the officials. But I want you to know we're fully invested in your success and we're rooting for you. So even if things don't feel quite as comfortable as you'd like, if it's a new setting or a new level of competition, you can rest on the fact that we're rooting for you. And I wish you the best of luck in any contests that you participate in.
Officials are actually pulling for you to do your very best. Keep practicing, and good luck.
So that's it for this time. Keep an eye out for the next one. I've got a few more officials who have offered to help with this project, and I'll put those up soon.